All right. Good morning, Keller Williams. Brett and Peter here. MCTTs Unleashed. And we are on episode 4. Four already.
4. As the Americans say, 4.
4.
The British say
4. 4.
Oh, it's 4.
It's 4.
4, that's all.
Like F-O-R-E, 4.
Yes.
Beforehand.
For real. So
we're having some fun as we always do. And today we have a topic that I am passionate about. It has really become an obsession of mine over the last probably 3, maybe 4 years. So much so that my wife has no idea how much gadgetry I have for video.
Yes. Hide the card receipts.
So Peter and I were talking after, I think it was after our last episode, and he saw some of the toys that had come in from Amazon that day. And he's like, does your wife have any idea how much you spend on this? And I'm like, no, she doesn't. Please don't tell her.
Well, it's good to have gear.
It is
good to have gear.
It is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be expensive. So that's one of the things we're going to get into today. Today's episode is all about capitalizing on the power of video and YouTube.
Yeah.
Why do we like YouTube, Peter?
Because it's the second biggest search engine on the planet. Maybe for certain categories and certain things that people are doing, video can be the first thing they go to.
I will tell you that as somebody who is being very intentional in 2023 to broaden my YouTube horizons, to actually make a living on YouTube. I go to YouTube every single day. My son is on YouTube probably every single day. And I can't say that anymore about Google.
No. Well, I watch YouTube instead of cable TV now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch old programs that when I was a kid, I enjoyed watching. There's some science programs out there. I'm keeping up with ChatGPT and everything that's going on with Stable Diffusion and all these crazy AI things. That there's so many good videos made by professors and doctors of science. So just incredible stuff out there.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because one of the greatest things about YouTube and why it's important to you as a real estate agent is that your videos actually leave a legacy for you, right? So you are actually creating a legacy of your career if you're capitalizing on video and YouTube. And so for my British friend here who probably has a hard time finding old TV shows that he grew up with in Britain, here in America, he can find them probably readily on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right.
The one thing the consumers report back about real estate videos is they get to know the agent and know they want to work with that agent before they even contact them. So because the agent's putting their life and their kind of like standards, ethics, and business practices and all that good stuff into their videos with content, the new consumer, the new buyer or seller understands that person and knows whether they're a fit for them. And what I'm hearing is that agents say, I got a call from a YouTube person who's been watching my YouTube videos, wants to work with me and feels they already know me.
Yeah.
That's so powerful. You can't do that with Facebook ads.
No, you can't. Not at all. Maybe a little bit of a spin there, like if you're using video, using one of your videos in a Facebook ad, but still not really going on that journey through the life of that person, right? Yeah. And I think I'm going to give a little shout out here to one of our fellow Keller Williams agents. He's been a guest on Tech the Halls with us before. And some of us were actually at Train the Trainer Advanced Workshop with him. And that's Chris Cusimano, who definitely capitalizes on the power of video and YouTube, not just in his business life. And that's the biggest thing. It's not just your real estate business. It's showing who your authentic self is as well. So, Peter, when you talk about getting to know somebody, I don't know Chris that well because he's, we've been virtually on a format like this for Tech the Halls, or, we had a 2-day class at Train the Trainer. So I don't know him that well, but I have been following him on YouTube and his Instagram and things like that. And he got puppies 8 months ago. They're monsters now.
puppies.
Yeah, and I've seen that journey, and so it really helps you to show the world, like you said, show the world, potential customers, who you authentically are. And I guess that's what I would emphasize the most. We're gonna talk about, what to do if you're afraid to get in front of the camera, because that's a big issue for a lot of people. But you really just need to be your authentic self.
Yeah. It's
right?
I mean, it's like having a public diary. It feels like people can see your life, and that creates some anxiety, but we're going to talk about overcoming that.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so let's get into our cultural element, as we always do. And today we are talking about the Keller Williams beliefs we refer to as our belief system, the Y4C2Ts. And I'm just going to run through these with you, and then Peter and I will tell you what are a couple that stand out for us. So win-win or no deal, integrity, do the right thing, customers always come first, commitment in all things, communication, seek first to understand, creativity, ideas before results, teamwork, together everyone achieves more, trust starts with honesty, equity, opportunities for all, and success results through people. So, Peter, are there any of those that stand out for you?
The creativity is very rarely talked about, because a lot of our internal meetings, we talk about all the aspects of this, but people rarely pick out creativity.
Yeah.
And in some organizations, creativity is suppressed. I don't want to mention names, but a blue real estate company that comes to mind, that it has to be blue and it has to be that particular way. Whereas I think in our world, we can come up with ideas and we can launch them in an entrepreneurial fashion, so that we thrive. And I think that power of creativity comes through every time. So for me, that's the one that leaps off the page.
That's awesome. I love that, because you are absolutely right. Nobody has ever said creativity when I've ever heard the Y4C2Ts mentioned. And when you talk about, companies have thrived because they've embraced technology, right? You look at, and we're certainly not going to get into the politics involved in any of these companies, but just when you look at like their facilities, Google and Facebook and YouTube, like they built multi-million-dollar facilities that inspire creativity.
Absolutely.
Right?
The focus of it.
Yeah. And I will tell you, I have been in some market centers that have ping pong tables, pool tables, things like that. I love that idea.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So for me, there's a couple that stand out. Communication, seek first to understand. I know in relationships, in your personal life, that's certainly important, but it's important in our market centers too. Believe it or not, agents sometimes will get twisted with each other over a deal, or he said, she said stuff. And a lot of times, if you just go and get the story from the source and sit down and have an adult conversation, you'll realize that a lot of it is out of whack, and it was a misunderstanding or miscommunication, things like that. So communication's a big one for me. And for me, integrity. My dad taught me a long time ago, certainly as I was entering this industry, that integrity is everything. You do what you say you're going to do, and you're a person of your word. And so that's a big one for me. And then you just kind of notice that if you take any of these out, the rest of them don't really fit. Right?
They're definitely all inclusive.
Yeah, absolutely. They are meant to go together. So
cool.
Yes, sir. So now moving along with our video fun today, our objective is to understand the importance of incorporating YouTube and video into your real estate business. And through that, the benefits that we'll gain is to learn that you can get started on YouTube for very little cost, learn the importance of channel names, audience target and niche, description SEO, that's search engine optimization. For those that aren't quite aware of SEO, I do like to explain the acronyms that we use.
Too many of them.
Yeah, we are a company of acronyms, but we're not the only company of acronyms. So I will explain
You've heard about
as we touch on them.
TLAs.
Oh, what's that?
3-letter abbreviations.
Oh, great. So we just made an acronym for our acronyms, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Channel art, because channel art is very important. It's it's like thumbnails, and we're going to talk a little bit like thumbnails are changing. But thumbnails have been a very important part of your videos, and the channel art is basically the thumbnail of the entire channel.
Yeah.
And call to action. Calls to action are very important. Peter has discussed on previous episodes about the importance of a call to action in your Facebook ads and things like that. And then we're going to learn how to use command to add videos to your KW consumer website. It can be done, and it's relatively easy. So that's going to be our demonstration part of the show today.
Sounds perfect. Good stuff.
And why are we doing this, Peter?
Because every opportunity to lead generate should be undertaken.
Absolutely.
Every day. So we are focusing really the first 4 episodes of this series on the 201 Club, which is having 201 Met contacts in your database and then scaling it from there to 1,000 plus.
Right. And so today, with incorporating the power of video and YouTube, we're going to be talking about that scaling again, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Lead generation through video. So it's certainly a great topic.
Absolutely. And it's the organic lead generation, like Peter mentioned. A lot of people, I'm just going to touch on this because this is something that comes up all the time. So as MCTTs, we normally are one of the first people that a new agent sees, because we're getting them involved in the onboarding process, getting their technology up and running. In my market center, I'm normally actually a part of the new agent orientation. So we're one of the first people that our new agents see. And one of the first questions that comes up is, I need to get my website up and running because I need to be found on Google. Yeah, newsflash, that's never going to happen. They're not going to find you on any website unless you are making a full-time job out of blogging, vlogging, writing articles on your website, mastering search engine optimization. For me, the master of that is Lori Ballin. I have been a student of hers for the 13 years now that I've been with Keller Williams. She is the best at it that I have witnessed, but it's become a full-time thing for her. So much so that that passion led her out of real estate and into that. And now she does that to help her brothers who are running her real estate team and their own companies. But you really have to make a full-time job out of it. You're not organically going to show up on the first 100 pages of Google.
No, but you can be found for hyperlocal searches.
Yes.
It's basically the top slots have been taken by the biggest websites that have got all that money to invest in search engine optimization. But for local searches, you can, make a difference. But the thing about websites is they've got to become much more dynamic, have video, be more interesting, have tools and features like home valuation pages, those kind of things you can add to your website, because just a plain old search site, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
What's the point of it? They can just go on the big Z or realtor.com and find homes. So to attract people to your website, it needs to be personalized and have all sorts of extra features that they can't get on those other websites.
Exactly. And show, last episode, we talked a lot about showing everybody that you're the local expert.
Yeah.
And that is one way that you can do it. So if you want a website that is just for people to search for a property, fine. It's ready to go exactly the way that it is. If you want a website that you can add pages to that show your consumers and visitors to your website that you are the local expert, then that's the kind of stuff we're going to talk about and show you today.
Yeah.
And hyper local, if you don't know what that term means, we're talking about very, very, very local. And honestly, the first time I ever heard that was from Lori. And that refers to what we're talking about with choosing your niche.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the power of YouTube. These are the things my co-host here is going to kind of run us through some of these. And And the reason for it is because he is much more of an expert than I at the specifics of this, especially as we get down to keywords and search engine optimization, things like that. And then once we're done with this, I'm going to take over. I've got some toys and gadgets in front of me that I'm going to show you so that you hopefully realize that it doesn't have to cost a fortune to get started in video. So Peter, let's talk about YouTube. What's the first thing we got to do?
So you've got to think of YouTube as a search engine, because that's what it is. It takes people's searches using text to then display a series of videos that match the search intent. So YouTube is a search engine, and you have to treat it as such, which means that when you come to name your channel, that's part of search engine optimization. What you call your channel will make a huge difference into the number of people who see it when they make searches. So certain key phrases like homes for sale, say for instance Port St. Lucie or Port Charlotte, kind of twin cities.
Yep.
You're more likely to have your channel come up in a search result if those key phrases are embedded in your channel name, and in particular in the description of the channel, which is the about section. So there's a whole load of information out there. There's a couple of tools available to help you with keyword research, but you don't necessarily need the tool, because what you're going to do is you're going to say, who is my audience and what are they going to search for? So the number, we maybe should have put it the other way around, but audience targeting and niche is the prime task that we should look at.
Yeah, because your name kind of develops from that, right?
From there, yeah. Exactly. So niches can be things like nurses, doctors, military who are moving from one base to another, 55 plus. It could be downsizers, upsizers, it could be retirees, could be growing families, whatever your niche. Kind of what you want to say to yourself is, what type of customer do I want to contact me, because I'll be able to serve them best, because we've probably got something in common, or that we already know they're the type of customer that we enjoy working with,
right, and
can provide a good service. So for me, I would probably be looking at the 55 plus and looking at, pre-retirement in Southwest Florida.
Yeah. Well, I'm clearly not far away from that. I think I told you about my Dunkin' Donuts senior discount moment the other day, but anyway.
It's tough. It's a tough life, especially when it's 62 and they give you it.
Yeah. Right.
So the niche is really the focus. So if, for example, we were to choose a retirement market, so you might call your channel Retiring in Florida. Right?
Absolutely.
So, or, ways to downsize. It could be whatever niche you come up with, make it even more driven down. So, so you're really targeting a certain audience, because that's the way the search engine works. It's not going to, if you just put homes for sale Florida, it's not going to work.
No,
because everybody wants to put homes for sale Florida and try and be real estate.
Exactly. And it's the Zillows and the Realtor.coms of the world that have the bankroll to be able to buy that just kind of placement.
Power through it.
Right.
Yeah. And there is YouTube ads, so you can actually target a key phrase and drive traffic. But this is doing this organically for free. So decide who your audience is. Then what I would do is spend a full day, writing down everything you can think of about what that audience is looking for, what types of phrases they'll put in. So, for instance, canal front homes, waterfront homes, deep dock. The retirees come to mind. Pickleball, right?
Yeah,
all these
pickleball's
different things.
A big one around here. In fact, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Punta Gorda actually has a new worldwide focused pickleball facility.
Right. So for me personally, I find all of it kind of not very interesting, even though I am older than 55. The last thing I want to do is start, living that lifestyle. I'm not ready for it yet.
Right.
But there are people who are living, in other parts of the United States. They're freezing cold. They're looking at Florida. They're looking at the weather. They're looking at the income tax. They're looking at the amenities. They're looking at, restaurants and all the other benefits of living by the coast. and they will search for it in YouTube to find out information about it. So your channel name needs to reflect the niche.
Yep.
You know, like home buying for 55 plus, that would work. But whatever you come up with, as long as it's focused on what they're going to do and who they are, that will help you by looking at your audience target and niche, help you develop the name for your channel. Then, more importantly, is these are a little out of order, is writing a great description for your channel, because that's where the SEO is. Now, if you find this a little tricky to do, since November, we now have ChatGPT, which is a AI text-based super brain that you can literally say, I am starting a YouTube real estate channel. It's going to be focused on delivering content for 55 plus and retirees in Florida. Give me 10 names that would be good for SEO for this channel.
Right.
And ChatGPT will give you 10 good names.
Yeah. It's
frighteningly good.
It is amazing. So I'm editing it right now, but I just recorded for my Realty Tech Guru channel, Chat GPT for real estate agents. So look for that. I will link to that in the description below. We're also going to link to the other resources that we provide. Peter actually has great a website too where he offers some training, so we're going to go ahead and link to all that stuff in the description.
We'll put that in,
because our goal here is to provide you, our Keller Williams real estate agents and leadership, with the resources that you need so that you can thrive in this business. We're in a shift, and these are all tactics, again, low cost. We're not offering anything
peanuts
here that's, high dollar, because we're in a period of red light, green light for sure. And if you don't know what that means, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, read that book, please, especially if you're with Keller Williams. It's definitely a life changer. But we're offering these ways to build your business in a down market or a shifting market, and it's all very low cost.
So what I would recommend doing is taking 5 days to put together your channel. So don't rush it. Day one, work on your audience. Who are the people that you want to show your videos to? We're not thinking about the content of the video yet, although will that come to mind? What we're looking at is who we want to attract. So day one, do that. Day two, work on your channel name based on that audience. Try out some different options with friends, ask them, say, hey, which do you think sounds best?
Right.
Do a little poll or a survey amongst your friends. The next is to write the description for your channel, because that's how you instruct YouTube what your channel's about. It's not particularly the content of the video that YouTube looks at initially. It's the name of the channel and the about section, which is a description.
And that's what starts triggering the what do we call it? The algorithm.
The algorithm.
Yeah, that's what starts triggering the algorithm, so that YouTube knows where to place your channel. Yeah.
So we're on day 3, and we're going to make sure that we've got the description written, which is keyword rich. So things like 55 plus retirement in Southwest Florida, homes for sale with retiree amenities. Get the words in retiree, 55 plus, for homes for sale, the location, Southwest Florida. Write that into your description so that it's keyword rich, so that the algorithm understands what your intent is behind your channel.
Expanding that just a little bit with even more. I love what Peter's doing here, because we're not just talking hyper local. We're going hyper local. We're like finding the niche within the niche. So with Peter talking about, homes for sale in, and then 55 plus, adding new construction to that, because most of our older population, they don't want to have to be burdened with older homes that will need repairs, right? Exactly. So adding new construction, waterfront, active lifestyle, things like that.
Yeah, gated communities, you name it. So it's worth spending a full day to think about what does that consumer want from their lifestyle in your location. And that can be, teachers, it's whatever niche you've chosen, they'll have their own specific interests.
Yeah.
So that will lead you to a list of keywords. And those keywords you're then going to use in the creation of your video names. So what you're doing is you're programming your channel to be successful with the YouTube algorithm by doing this. So, and the next phase is to look at your competition. So I cannot believe the success that some agents are having with this. We found one channel, I think it was New Construction.
Yeah, we'll pull it up here. Let me
and I believe this is a KW agent on the east coast of Florida.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this is the best channel I've ever seen. I'm not saying it's got the best descriptions or even the best artwork, but what it does have is a massive amount of views. So this is South Florida New Construction Homes. I'm only showing you this just to prove a point that she started it in June of 2018. So it's not even 3 years old. 7,987,000 views and just under 8 million views. Now, 8 million people is a third of the population of Florida.
That is a ton in 2 years.
Yeah, it's enormous. Enormous. So with the right, which we're going to talk about, with the right videos, the right information, getting your personality into the video, if you've got 8 million people watching you, and this is entirely possible. I'm not saying, oh, you know, don't aim for this. I think you absolutely should aim to get multi-million views on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Because with that, you're going to be getting calls on a daily basis with someone saying, I've been watching your videos. I really like the content. I particularly like this community that you featured. I'm just checking out, is there anything for sale there I'm interested in buying?
Right.
And by the way, I already want to work with you.
Yeah. So I want to expand on some ideas with this channel because there's a lot that this triggers for me. One of the things when you have this kind of following, this particular agent will probably never have to pay for anything again.
No.
As far as, and what I mean by that is she's focused on new construction. She has 8 million views on her channel. So think about that exposure. I would guarantee you pretty much, I'll research it. I want to verify what I say here, but just coming to mind, I bet she has more views on her channel than some of the builders that she's showcasing.
Oh, no doubt.
Right. So imagine those builders wanting to be talked about more on her channel. And now she has the funds, again, in a shifting market, red light, green light with our expenses. She has the funds from these builders to throw client parties, new home buyer parties, things like that, because as long as she provides them a service, right, that they basically sponsor a video that she could then do a video for them or mention them, and then provide some financing for events that she wants to do.
I'd be interested to know, like, could we look up Miranda?
Yeah.
Miranda
yeah,
Homes?
let's look at it.
I just want to see what the builders are actually doing. So new construction is the niche. The location being South Florida is the geographic area that you're targeting. So this agent's gone for a good niche. She's segmented it into one particular area. We're going to see if we can find a Miranda. There'll be loads of videos about Miranda. I don't know if Miranda's got their own. Let's have a quick look.
So this is their own channel. They have way less subscribers than she does.
Right.
She has
34,000.
a little over 4,000. Yeah.
34,000. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll go back and look at that.
So let's go to the
and
about
then
section.
We're going to go to about, and they have 42,870 views.
So
and she has 8 million.
8 million.
Now, granted, this is, you know, those are other builders, but Miranda's a builder that's all over Florida. I mean, they're big right here where we are in Southwest Florida.
I live in a Miranda home.
Yeah.
Great homes, by the way. I stood up to the hurricane so well.
So now let's go back and look at that channel. And we're going to see, so here, 7,987,000 views, and she has, 34.6 thousand subscribers. So I would imagine that Miranda would like exposure from her rather than their own channel.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could literally go along to Miranda and say, look, I want to feature all the new construction homes. I'd like to be able to do a video in each one and walk through and talk about them. And by the way, I've got 8 million views. And just not to put too fine a point on it, you've currently got 43,000. I think we can really work together. So there are agents who are specializing in new construction niche who are doing very, very well with this. One particular agent, I was looking at his YouTube channel. He gets on average about 10,000 views per video, but he's creating a couple of videos a week.
Yeah.
So 20,000 a week. That's a lot of human beings, which is what we're dealing with here.
Right.
Knowing who you are, where you are, what what market you work in, what niche you're working within that market, and your call to action is to reach out, you know, so you've got phone number, website, the subscribe and like call to action that comes up so much. But it's YouTube is unbelievably powerful, yet untapped when it comes to most real estate agents. They're just not doing it.
You're absolutely right. And that's one of the things for me when I'm talking to the agents in my market centers. We're fortunate, and I've mentioned this before on previous episodes, but we're fortunate to be in an area of Florida that is a little behind like Miami, Tampa, Orlando, excuse me, all of our big cities. And in all those big cities, you should have started in YouTube 10 years ago, at least. And here in Southwest Florida, there's still not enough agents doing it. I honestly can't name any of them. Not one agent. I've been in this agent community for 20 years now. I can't name one agent that's crushing it on YouTube. I'll tell you who, you know, I can give you some names of who's crushing it on Instagram, and a couple of them are right here in my own market centers. But Instagram's not giving you the same kind of search engine optimization and organic lead generation that you're going to get from YouTube, because it's owned by Google, because Google loves YouTube and loves itself. You're going to get that organic traffic. One of the things that you were just talking about that made me, that, you know, kind of gave me an aha is I'm a husband and a couple that's in Minnesota, tired of the freezing winters. And I'm still about 5 years from retiring. And so I'm searching for, you know, retirement communities in Southwest Florida, retirement communities in Florida. And I come across, let's say, and I'm going to mention her name because it's here. I mean, I'm sure she would love, you know, a little help anyway. Not like she needs our help. She's got way more followers than we do.
He's doing
it. But rather than continue to call her, it's Kalisha Owens, who's with down in Boca Raton, Florida.
Keller Williams.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, you know, I stumble across her website, and I don't know anything about her, but I have found this, and she's got all these new construction, and I'm still 5 years from, you know, retiring and moving. But then my friend tells me, you know, they surprised me and like, hey, buddy, you know what? I won the lottery and I want to get the heck out of here. I'm tired of the frozen winters. I want to go down to South Florida. Do you know anybody, you know, or maybe they don't even know. They just be like, hey, you have got to check Kalisha's website out. I've been researching for myself. And that's the way the organic traffic happens. It's word of mouth if you have that kind of presence like that.
Absolutely.
One person finds you, and even if they're not ready, they're going to let other people know who are.
Yeah. So this particular channel, I'm not saying is an example of how to do it. It's just, even though it's been done reasonably well, it's been massively successful. So imagine what you can do if you actually plug in a few extras, which is a little nicer channel art, perhaps some better descriptions in the videos. But the call to actions need to be really strong. So when you're making your video, and we're going to be talking about what equipment to use, you do need to be saying, and this is why people do it, which is hit subscribe.
Yep.
And if you like the video, click the like button, because it really does help with the algorithm.
It does.
So,
yep. And also, so this is mine. Hey, if you got value out of this video, hit that like button. If you're not already, please consider subscribing to this channel and ding that notification bell so you can be reminded when I upload new content just like this.
Yep. Absolutely.
And it's just practice. Yes. I mean, I stuttered through that so many times when I was first doing it for my other channel. But you're right. All of that. The reason that the pros do that on every video is because they know that it works.
Yes. And what happens is, if you don't know when you subscribed, is that notification next time you upload a video, it sends a message out to everybody who's subscribed, who's got the notification bell checked, that there is a new video, and it comes into their feed, if you like, on their YouTube channel, on their YouTube, whatever it's called.
Yeah, when they log into YouTube, you've got a notification bell on your user account. It's up here in the corner. So, and this happens to me all the time. I follow a lot of YouTubers in the tech world. And so I'll come here and it'll show me I've got 3, and I click on it and it'll show me the YouTubers that just uploaded videos. Yeah, absolutely.
So can we do one more search? Just a generic one. I just want to do Florida real estate, because I want to see channel art. So channel art makes a massive difference. I was looking at 2 more or less identical channel art graphics, and one of them had a little house picture in it and the other one didn't. And the person who was sharing this in a YouTube and a Facebook group about YouTube for real estate agents actually said this one had 10% click through and this one had 3, and it was the same graphic apart from a tiny little house icon.
Just having that house icon.
Yeah, so experimenting
because of
with
the
them.
visual representation, just immediately like that's real estate.
It's about
probably.
Real estate.
Yeah.
So using like almost like emoticons, but little graphics in your channel art works. I've noticed there's a trend at the moment for people to start making videos about the disaster that's happening in the real estate market. Are we in for a tremendous turmoil and collapse? And you know, where's it going? That's just clickbait,
fear mongering.
It's not value. It's not value. The value.
Don't get sucked into that.
No, I wouldn't. So the value is telling people about what communities are available, what models are available, tours of actual homes that are for sale. We've got a link which we'll put in the description after the video to a guide to give you 25 ideas about YouTube video creation, and also in that guide it has the script for you to read out using the teleprompter app, which is a little app that goes on your cell phone and just displays the words for you to speak when you're recording your video. So even if you're really nervous and you're full of fear about doing this, all you have to do is take this script, read it out, and show a property. Yeah. And you will be creating content before you know it.
I'm glad you brought that point up about not participating in the fear mongering and all the bad news and everything, because are we in a shifting market? Yes, absolutely. Is it the same as it was 6 months ago, you know, year and a half ago? No, not at all.
And it's certainly not 2008.
No, it's not. You're absolutely right. We are not there. And the thing is if you're doing the right things as an agent, if you're doing all the things that Bold teaches you, or that you know are the things that you need to do, your lead generation every day, you know, if you're following the systems and models, you're still finding business. So right here in my own market center, been talking to the agents, you know, pretty much every day. Some of them are feeling the pain of the shifting market. And then I talked to one of my buddies in the office, and I mean, he was walking on clouds yesterday because he's got 7 under contract right now. I mean, the business is still there. It's just, are you doing the right things to make sure that you're getting your unfair share of that market?
So this particular search that we got up on the screen, this is an example of not doing it right. And that was just Florida real estate. So let's put in Tampa neighborhoods and then homes for sale. This is where we're going hyper local. Well, not even quite hyper, but certainly local. There we go. I just want to see what we've got there that comes up as a result. I guarantee it'll be some agents. So we've got affordable homes, new construction. What does $600,000 buy you in Tampa? What does $300,000 buy you? This guy's doing well. He's got 3 videos coming up.
Yeah.
On the front page. That's the same person, right?
Yeah, it is. So we got 25,000 views here, 3,300 views here, 3,100 views here.
Okay. So
the other thing is this is what we talk about with the importance of the channel art, and for now thumbnails. I say for now because there's things changing with YouTube with thumbnails, but we'll talk about thumbnails still currently. Those thumbnails grab me. I want to click on them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So what this person's done is use bright colors, multiple colors. It's got a little Google theme going on with the green, the blue, the red.
That's funny.
It looks great. It's got a picture of himself, and what seems to be the magic channel art and kind of the most clicked is where there's a picture of the agent with a cutout, which you can use Canva to do that. We'll talk about that. A bright and cheerful look at it, not negativity. So he's got affordable homes. Then he's got his $600,000 price point. Then he's got another video for his $300,000. But this guy's doing an excellent job. But to have 3 videos come in the search results, he's going to be getting some serious numbers of views.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I'm thinking that he's probably, especially in the 600K range, which, I mean, let's face it, 600K is not as much as it used to be. I mean, 600K, a lot of people are spending that for houses. But that's probably, I would guess, based on our average price range here, Tampa being a higher market, that's probably their average price range.
Yeah, there's somewhere in 550s probably. Yeah. So can we just look at his channel and see how many video views it's had? I'm just interested to know.
Jump in here.
And we're doing this live on here. We haven't pre-prepared this, so I'm just
and then we'll go right to the main channel.
And he's called it Tampa, Florida Living. So Tampa, Florida Living, gain hyperlocal. He's got Florida Living, which is what people search for. Yeah. And in the about section, it'll tell us how many.
It will. I just want to bring our attention. So in the previous one, even though there was 8 million views and there's a lot of good stuff happening there, one of the things that Peter and I noticed right away is that the channel art isn't really all that engaging. This one certainly is.
Yeah. And he's got a call to action in there: subscribe, like, and share.
Yeah.
So that's the call to action. He's put that in his channel banner across the top. He's saying the cadence of how often he's doing videos. I'm doing weekly videos. And he's got his fingers pointing up to Tampa, Florida Living. So he's hyperlocal. That's from a national scale. Tampa's hyperlocal.
Yeah.
So he has had 500,000 views.
Yep. Half a million channel views.
Brilliant. And he's only been gained 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is just phenomenal. So you've got to really appreciate the effort that this guy's gone to follow that simple formula, which is to have a particular audience. He's thought of a niche, and it's people who live in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
He's appealing to people by letting them know when he's going to be producing a video. So expect one once a week. He's not doing it every day, so it's not killing him.
Right.
He's not taking, too much time out of his day. He's got his contact information in his description. I, with my bad eyesight, can't see exactly what it says, but it says, "Are you wondering what it's like to live in Tampa, Florida?" Yep. So again, he's got his keywords in his description, so he's doing that right. And we just typed in whatever it was, Tampa neighborhoods, homes for sale.
Yep.
3 of his videos came up. So this guy's checking every box.
Yep, he is. And so one of the things I've noticed is because there's 2 schools of thought to this, in the fact that, some agents will say that their name has to be on every single thing for the brand. But if you notice, the name of this channel is not his name. Mm-hmm. But he does, and this is what Peter was talking about, why the SEO, where the SEO comes out of the description for the channel, his name, his broker affiliation, his email address, and phone number, that is all in the channel description. And that's where, if somebody searches for his name, now this channel's coming up, it doesn't just have to have his name as the channel name.
So you do want to put your contact information in the about section, because your call to action during the video will be like and subscribe. But also, if you've got a real estate need and you'd like to look at homes, click on the about section on this channel, and all my contact information's there. Yep. So he's got that information nice and clearly put. He's put his Florida license in, not a requirement, but definitely a good idea. So yeah, kudos to this guy. It's a great result, and he'll be up to 1 million views before long.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. We'll go back and look at his videos. I just want to, and I'm going to go back to the other channels we looked at too, because I want to draw everybody's attention to this. So this, where he has subscribe here and he has his socials, this is actually a feature of YouTube that I personally haven't seen a lot of agents utilize. They throw their channel art up there and they think they're done with it, but you actually have the ability to create an engagement here with your audience. So you can have them subscribe here, so that subscribe is always in front of them when they're on the channel art, or you can have it direct them to your website. So that was on Kalisha's website. I'm gonna go back and show that. And like on mine, when we're talking about Kit and the gadgets and stuff to get into video, I have mine goes to my kit.co website, where it shows all of those video packages. All right, so let's go. One of the things, so Peter, you talked about keywords and finding, there are keyword search tools out there, right? But one of the things that I do, just like when I'm looking for something quick, I just start typing in what I think people would search for, and then all of those suggestions that YouTube and Google provide, then that's what I start to build my keywords around, because those are typically the most popular searches.
Yeah, it's not as hard as people might think. So the tools that are out there will give you competitiveness, how hard it is to rank, the search volume for a particular keyword. But Google is using a form of AI. So when you type in a search term, it will start suggesting lots of others, and they're quite often Like we've got Port Charlotte, Florida real estate comes up.
Yep. And Port Charlotte, Florida homes for sale. Of course, a lot of Hurricane Ian suggestions there. So, you know, that's just, I'm curious.
Isn't it interesting that comes up when you just type Port Charlotte? So the search terms for Florida real estate. So a great name for a channel would be Port Charlotte, Florida real estate, or living in Port Charlotte. Yep. So you can use that as a simple guide to give you some effective names and key phrases to put into your description on your channel.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me just, one thing I've noticed with a couple of these channels is they actually have a like a spotlighted video that is ready to play. Think about, I mean, that would be a great intro video.
That's the welcome video.
Yeah, that's your welcome video. You could introduce yourself as an expert in the area of the community that you're building your channel around, or the niche that you're building your channel around. Because like Peter said, it doesn't have to be a specific community. It might be all of South Florida, but you're specializing in military community or medical relocation, that sort of thing.
Yeah, space jobs. Well, there's every region in Florida has its own niche.
Space jobs sounds like a funky term, but Peter's market centers are on what we call the Space Coast here in Florida, because it's over by Cape Canaveral and Kennedy Space Center.
We're the pirates. We're Treasure Coast.
Oh, okay.
So
that's
Space
right. Space Coast is a little farther north, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm a Florida native, and I clearly don't understand all the terminology. That's the other coast. That's a whole different world for me.
Certainly is.
But I mean, when I just like scroll through these, like
they look good.
Yeah, they do. The thumbnails are engaging. I want to click on them. So.
Yeah. Could you live here? Land the lakes. So he's talking about one particular area. And best temper areas for your lifestyle. This is a good channel to go and emulate.
Absolutely,
for sure.
And it's living in, what's life like, life in, you know, pros and cons of living in. This guy knows what he's doing, I think.
He does. Yeah, definitely.
So kudos.
Yeah.
All right.
So what about some of these gadgets? What
Gadgets.
do we need to make our lives easier and have a nice stable video and good sound? All those things are very important. You want to have a quality product when you put it out there.
So here's my big thing. And I don't think enough people realize this. But it is certainly one of the things that if you do follow people who are heavily involved in video, like I said, it's been a passion of mine. I follow Sean Cannell and Think Media. And so this is one thing you'll hear there. Audio is really more important than the video. The video itself, capturing the imagery and all that, that's great. But I could have 720p. So like going back to even before full HD, right? I could have a 720p quality video, but have absolute pristine balanced audio, and everybody will watch that. I can have a 4K video where the audio is clipping, cutting out, blaring, too soft to listen to, and nobody's going to watch that video. Once the audio goes bad, they're bouncing off.
Yeah,
because they can't stand it.
The one thing that I'd suggest is trying out different mics. I mean, the great thing about Amazon is you can buy something, test it out. If you don't like it, you can always send it back.
Yeah.
But some mics, like I found for me, a dynamic mic seems to be the best one for my weird British voice. The other mics, the condenser mics, tend to be too rounded and pick up too much.
They pick up a lot of the room.
Yeah. So you get that echoing and booming sound. So if you're doing voiceovers and creating your own videos, a dynamic mic is a good choice in my opinion. But I'm no expert on this. There's so many mics. I mean, I'm on my 4th mic now and happy with it, which was the cheapest one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I'm always looking for, the value. High tech doesn't have to mean high dollar, best quality. So I love my dad more than anything, but my dad is from the school that if it costs a fortune, it must be the best thing. I can't tell you how many Samsung TVs he's had go bad.
Yeah.
I buy nothing but Vizio, and I've never had one break early on me ever.
I like LG as well. I think they're very good.
So it's not always true that the most expensive is the best. So talking about, you said something that, voiceovers. voiceovers don't have to be really high tech, expensive either. Can you grab me that microphone right there, Peter?
This one?
The other one.
This one? Oh, the Rode.
Yep.
My arm's not long enough.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
There we go.
So the microphone that Peter was just talking about was actually that Q2U by Samson, which right now is like $55 on Amazon, right? Yep. And that is a fantastic all-around microphone for upping your game for this kind of video, or if you're doing voiceovers or Zoom or something like that. But if you're looking for the best value microphone for podcasting, for putting it on your camera, for using it with your, do I have to buy an expensive camera to get into YouTube?
No,
Peter?
your iPhone's got a tremendous camera in it. So does the Samsung.
Absolutely. The Google Pixel, the Android phones, any of the current model phones have amazing cameras in them. And this microphone will work with those. I gotta get the perspective right here. So this microphone, I'm showing my Best Buy label. I don't have any private information on there. But this microphone does it all. $99. It's the Rode Video Mic Go 2. It has a thread in the bottom, so you can put it on a little desktop tripod and use it as a podcasting or a Zoom mic. It also has it's just direct USB, so I can plug it right into the bottom of my phone, and then I just get little adapters like these guys. So if I need to convert from Lightning to USB-C or vice versa, all this stuff. These adapters are, I don't know, they were like $6 for 3 of them. Again, all this stuff is high value. So when we talk about actually shooting the video, you're not going to go out and invest in a camera until you're ready and want to do that. That's not how you get started in video. That's not what we're suggesting at all. What we're suggesting is that you just start with your phone, right? You have it with you all the time. It's ready to go. And then what I'm going to add to that is something like this. So Ulanzi is actually it's a company that I really love. They make high quality, high value products for video and photography. And so most of what you're looking at here is all Ulanzi. The microphone is Rode, high quality microphone. But the main thing I can't emphasize enough. So we talked about audio. The audio's got to be awesome, and that's easy. So again, Ulanzi right here. Okay. This J12, what you're looking at here is for $50. It's a dual channel wireless microphone system. So one of these guys here goes into the bottom of your phone. That's going to be that piece right there. And then the other two are clip-on wireless lapel mics. And why is that cool? Well, if I'm doing even a walkthrough, right? If I have a camera, if I have a microphone mounted on my camera a certain way, if it's not facing me because I'm walking behind it, then I'm getting muffled sound. It's not working right. So
what I see a big mistake is where they get someone else to hold the camera.
Yeah.
And then they're 12, 15 feet away going, welcome to this house. And all you can hear is noise and wind and no audio at all.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to use the microphone on the camera.
Yeah.
So the number one thing is to start with the microphone.
Absolutely.
No two ways about it.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. Audio is the key. And in a situation like Peter just described, this is going to fix that problem because you're going to have the microphone mounted right on your shirt, your clothing, whatever.
And they're good for what, 30 feet from the camera? Maybe?
So I haven't tested this one yet. I actually have I have a Deity product here that I'll show you. This is a wireless mic setup, and I use the Rode Wireless Go 2, and I have tested that. And I mean, you would never use it in a practical real estate application that you would get far enough away from the transmitter for the mic to cut out. However, that Rode wireless mic system is like a $300 system.
Right.
This one is $50. And again, from what I saw on YouTube, researching it before I purchased it, you're never going to be in a real estate application where you'd get too far away that the audio would cut out. So product like this, get your audio game up, step up your audio game. Then what comes next after bad audio? What drives us crazy with video?
Shaky.
So as good as the cameras are in our phones, and I think they've actually changed this with iPhone 14, which I don't have. I'm still rocking a 12, I believe. But the new generations of phones now actually have hyper smooth, that's a GoPro term, but they have image stabilization now as a feature of the camera. I think I just saw a commercial for the iPhone 14 with that feature the other day. However, I'm not suggesting again that you go out and get a brand new,
$1,000 phone.
Exactly. The latest model of your phone. Grab something like a handheld tripod, what we used to call a selfie stick. And then what's cool about this, you'll see, so the handle here actually folds out into a tripod. And why that's handy, especially if I'm a real estate agent, and this is something you should consider doing for your channel. It's what that guy's doing. It's not just about, what does your money buy for 300,000? You can see in some of those videos, he was showing you the parks of Tampa and things like that. So that's what we call a vlog or a video blog. And so you can walk around with this, get better stabilized video, and you're holding it with the camera facing you for your talking head shots. And then you can even, set it down and walk away from the camera again with your wireless mic set up and be able to get all the shots and video that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest with you, yes, videographers are amazing at what they do, but you have to spend, $100, $300 an hour, whatever. I don't even know what they cost because I've never hired one for this kind of stuff. I don't want to, because I think it loses authenticity. Mm-hmm. What you talked about,
you can be too polished.
Yeah,
it just comes across as fake.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and I listen to the replays of these, and I know I have an problem.
Oh, I have the
I have a serious problem, and today on this episode, I'm being very conscious to watch that. I'm also what Dick Dillingham, who is an amazing instructor and icon in Keller Williams, had him for Train the Trainer and Advanced Workshop. I'm what he would call a so brother, because I say so a lot.
I say so a lot.
Right after
everything was
so. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Well, especially, and I think that's the life of a tech trainer. So we're gonna get started with right things like that. I did it. Did you hear that? Tune that out for me. So, see, it's hard to get away from.
So
that's right.
So what we're gonna do?
So
I do it all the time. But the thing is, without saying so, the best thing to do is to pause.
Yes.
So when you're making a video, is if you feel the urge to do the and the so, pause and then continue. It's just you're trying to fill in the sound for yourself. You're trying not to have any dead spots.
Yeah.
So you can you can do loads of videos, and you can edit them. So you can put together with, I mean, we haven't talked about editing software, but even on your cell phone, there's iMovie.
Yep.
On the Apple phones. I'm sure there's something very similar on the Androids. I'm not in the Android world, so
yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah, but there will be. So you can stitch together, and when you're doing it, and I've done this for videos that I've used for training, I'll go in and chop out the ums and the so's.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because it's easy to do. You just
it is
second either side and delete.
Yeah. So I this is the kind of stuff that I love to talk about. I geek out on this kind of stuff. So I know we're gonna have more episodes around this topic, and that's something we can take this to. Some cost-effective or even free video editors. DaVinci Resolve is a high-quality video editor, and it's absolutely 100% free.
Yeah. So we're coming up to an hour, and I wanted to just quickly get in the KW website.
Yeah, so let's do that.
When you've got your video and you've uploaded it to YouTube, which is a simple and easy task to do, you just upload the file and give the file a name, a description, and some tags. You've then got a link which you can then copy and paste that link into your KW website, so you can create a landing page. And we're going to give you a quick demo on how to do that before we wrap up this session.
Yeah. So let's jump back into All right, let me grab my command tab. And so I am in the consumer applet. So when you log in, I'm going right to it. Peter knows normally when we jump into our command, we're showing all kinds of information that we shouldn't. And quite honestly, I don't like the editing of having to blur all that stuff. So you would normally just jump right into command. You're going to be on your home screen, and then you're going to come down to the consumer applet. All right. And then we're going to go over here to create a new page. And we're going to do it as a landing page.
Yep.
And the reason we're doing it as a landing page, and I hope this is something that we see a change, because some of the widgets exist in both. I'm not quite sure why our video widget isn't on my agent site yet, but we're going to show you how we do it on a landing page. So we have our landing page. We're going to create a page. And then I'm going to call this My City Vlog. All right. So you can imagine that you're using your videos to show that you are the expert in the towns that you service through real estate through these videos. All right. So this is going to be a vlog page for us. So I'll probably throw my agent branded header up here first. Okay. And then I'm going to throw in the video. And I can throw another video in here, right, Peter?
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, just video after video.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw another one down here. And now you can see I've got 2. And I'll just throw one more in here. Since we have 3 previous episodes of our show, we'll just throw them all in here. So I'll throw that down. Now you can see I have a headline, so I can give the page a name. And I've got 3 placeholders for my videos. So anything else you typically do? At the end,
probably like I think the contact form, the lead form's already in there on the bottom of the website, but I sometimes put that lead form at the bottom.
That's a good idea, because if they're on my videos and they want to contact me right then, they don't have to go back.
Yeah.
So I'll throw a lead form down here. You can see that that's in. And now we're just going to go to configure widgets, right?
Yep.
So we go to configure widgets.
Branded header just needs a cell phone number in.
Yep. And we're going to make that up. All right. And then we'll call this My City Vlog, like we said. So I got a name in there. I'm good to go on that one. I'm going to hit save and apply. You see I have the name of the page there now. And then we're going to move on to our next video, or our next widget. And that's going to be this video. And we're going to call this MCTTs Unleashed. Typing too fast, fat finger and everything. Unleashed episode 1. Okay, and then I can add a description. I'm going to leave it blank now for time purposes. Okay, and we're going to use our video URL, right? So and the reason for that is because we don't want to waste any time loading the page. We don't want to waste any file hosting or anything by uploading a video. So I'm just going to go over to our YouTube page, and I'll go back to video 1, and I can actually just hit the 3 dots right here when I'm looking at the video, and then just go to share. It'll copy that link right there. And now I can go back to command, and we're going to put that in this first video widget. All right. And then save and apply. And that looks pretty cool. Doesn't it? Good.
Yeah. And it's got the play button inserted over the top of it as well.
Play button right there. So you know what to do.
That widget's good.
And it's bringing in the thumbnail that we had on the YouTube channel. So that's nice. Got a nice look to it. I don't have to worry about doing anything after that. Then we're going to go to our next widget. And did I miss something? What did I miss? Okay. Let's see. We go here. All right. There we go.
It sometimes glitches a little bit. What I did was saved it
save
and then
come
added
back.
another one. Yeah, but anyway, the point is you got your video added.
I mean, it's technology, right? It has its good days and bad days, but we're gonna save that. Yeah, save it. And then
I think there's some upgrades going on as well at the moment, because I was doing a training yesterday on very, very similar thing where I was putting in modules. Took me 3 or 4 attempts just to get it right, but you just play with it and it works.
So now
that was a configure that one, and there you go. You got
there we go. Link. All right, and then we're gonna say I'll just throw episode 2 in here for time purposes, and our video URL. Go back and grab that. And then the 3 dots on episode 2.
Yep.
Copy. And put that one in there. Save and apply. And we can see that come through.
And that's what it does.
Yep, there it goes. It's glitching on me a little bit, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save the landing page, come back.
Yeah, delete that one above, and then you can put another one underneath it.
Okay.
Then you get them in the right order.
Yeah, there we go. And then I'm just going to leave that like that for those 2 right now. All right. And then I've got my last widget, which is interested in Let's Talk. And I'll probably change that. Did you like the videos? Curious about the area?
Get in touch.
Drop us a so that's done. And then I hit save and apply. And I'm going to. So what you can do with this is what this looks like, right?
Yeah. Once you've got this page built, you can then post the page onto social media, put $10 into it, and have people watching your videos.
Yeah.
Because all those count, the number of videos that watched is helping the algorithm on your YouTube channel, even if they go ahead and watch it here, because when they click this link, it takes them over to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's not actually watching the video in the KW site.
Right. And that's why you want to use the share link, because it's actually YouTube thinks that you're there watching it there. Yeah. It's just feeding in through this page.
Can't tell the difference.
Nope. And so then the other thing you can do is you can take this page and you can actually put it on your KW consumer site. And that's something, if you do have an MCTT, please reach out to them. They'll be happy to show you how to do that. If you don't have an MCTT, you most likely have an RTT, and they would be able to help you. So again, Market Center Tech Trainer, that's who we are. And RTT is your regional tech trainer, and they'll be happy to take you that next step. And we'll probably show that in a future episode. Don't have time for it right now, but just know that it can be done. And I think that was a fun, action-packed episode. How about you, buddy?
Yeah. I mean, YouTube's so powerful and free. So why not dive in and just overcome that fear? Just do it.
Yeah. The power of YouTube, can't emphasize enough how powerful YouTube is and why you need to be capturing it. So that's what we wanted to talk about today. Hopefully you got that well, one of the things we didn't really mention, I want to mention real quick, overcoming the fear. I know you kind of touched on it. Really, you just got to get in there and you just got to press record. You just got to do it over and over again. If you're more comfortable making family videos or doing, making these videos in front of your kids, sometimes, like I know me personally, I don't care what the world thinks when I'm in front of my kid, right? So, if you want to do it that way, it's really just the practice. It's the repetition. Like Sean Cannell says, that I follow from Think Media, you got to just press record.
And nobody sees it.
Nobody
sees it until you upload it.
Yeah.
So you can just record as many as you like, make mistakes, edit them out, redo it, start again. When you're finally happy, you think, you know what, this one's okay, then start and upload.
Yeah. Well, and here's even an idea that you can use. So my team leader here, Sherry Smith, she makes a lot of videos. She doesn't necessarily enjoy it. She's definitely gotten a lot better. But her simple thing, and I've heard this from other people, I'm never going to watch the video again. Like, I don't want to see it. I just want to shoot it. I want to get it out there. And I mean, Hollywood actors are like that. Some of them don't even watch their movies, right? Yeah. So whatever it takes, press record, capitalize on the power of video in YouTube. Reach out to us. We're going to link to everything we talked about in the description below on this video. And we will catch you next week for episode 5. Peter, any final thoughts?
No, just to dive in. It's just do it. I just think it's such a powerful, when you see an agent with nearly 8 million views in 2.5 years. Yeah. That's, I mean, the dollar value of that is enormous to the agent.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's do it.
Awesome. Get out there, press record, and we'll see you in the next episode. And remember, if you're getting value out of this channel, you got value out of this video, click that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and ding that notification bell so that you'll be notified when Peter and I film another episode. Bye-bye.